I'm talking about the passionate hockey fans here tonight. There we go. A lot of LA Kings fans, a lot of Avalanche fans here. How many LA Kings fans? How many Avalanche fans? How many Knights, something Knights fans? There we go. I'd like to introduce the owner of the new, yet-to-be-named Knights franchise, Mr. Bill Foley, and General Manager George McPhee. We're going to take some questions from the fans. Well, you guys can ask your questions to the owner, to the general manager. We're going to get a little taste of Las Vegas hockey, because in a year from right now, we'll all be standing here with our something-to-be-named Knights jerseys, hats, shirts, all kinds of logos out here. It's going to be a blast. But let me ask Bill Foley, first of all. Bill, this has been a long, long process. It's a year away now. Next year we'll look out here and see a fan, just a sea of fans out here. Just that process and how excited you are as the owner.
Well, I mean, this is, it's been an unbelievable process. Exhausting. But we accomplished the mission. June 22nd, we got the team. It's great to see all of you guys out here. I expect to see thousands more, though, next year. Thousands more. This is just a small taste of what's going to happen here in Las Vegas. And we're on our way. Practice facility started last week, or last Wednesday. We're in great shape. We're all set up.
The practice facility will include 2 rinks. And Bill, you've always been big into junior hockey and building the junior hockey program here in Las Vegas. That's a big mission for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of our major goals is to really develop the youth hockey program here in Las Vegas, so that we can build our young players, and we'll get a #1 draft pick someday, just like Arizona got Austin Matthews, right?
That's right. And that's how about George McPhee? Now he's responsible for building this franchise into a winner. George, welcome to Las Vegas again. A lot of these fans are seeing you for the very first time here. What are your impressions of Las Vegas, and what needs to be done to build a winner here in Las Vegas? Because Bill Foley has mentioned in the past 8 years to a Stanley Cup.
7
years.
Well, the infrastructure's all here, obviously, with this fantastic building here. The great job that Bill has done on the practice facility, and the tremendous support we've had from Bill, we've got everything we need. So we've gone out and hired a scouting staff, and we're just, they're all deployed, they're out watching games, and we're just building. So we're in place and ready to go.
I was going to ask you, how cool is it, too, to also be part of an expansion franchise, not a relocation, but an expansion from the ground up?
Well, I think it's something that all general managers fantasize about at some point in their career, that they get to start right from the bottom and build it up. So I'm delighted to do it, but I'm really excited about this because I really wanted the job anyway. But now that I'm here and we have this and we have the practice facility, it's easy to get around. The weather's great. There's no state tax. Got an owner that wants to win. We've got what we need. The airports are close. This is where players are going to want to play.
Last night we were talking to some of the Kings fans after the game, and they mentioned how impressed they were with the ice, with the boards were fast, the facility itself. And have you heard that also, George, from some of the players?
Yeah, they were really happy with the ice. They're really happy with the lighting, how bright it was in there. I really, as Bill and I talked about this morning, the acoustics were great. Yeah, it was a loud building. When people were cheering, you could really hear it. It resonated all the way upstairs, and it was all throughout the building. And that's what you want. You want an exciting building and one that's alive, and this one really works that way.
How many were here last night at the game? How many Kings fans were here? Any Avalanche fans, maybe some Dallas Stars fans were here. But how impressed were you with that little ice show prior to the game last night? Bill, you want to do those kind of things, don't you?
Oh yeah, we're going to have an unbelievable, we're going to have a party before the game, we're going to have a party during the game, and we're going to have a party after the game. And the light show is going to be unbelievable. Take my word for it. But it's going to be all about us. It's not going to be about the Kings or the Stars or the Avalanche. It's all going to be all about us.
All right, are there any questions out there? Go ahead right here up front.
When can we really expect the team name?
I thought that would probably be, I'll get one question, and that was it. The rest of them will go to George. Well, you know, our goal is to announce the team name on November 18th. We're looking for a date that we can get to Toshiba Plaza and do a proper event and bring in all of our season ticket holders, and it'll be an event. And we're shooting for November 18th. We're refining the colors of the jersey. We want to make sure they're powerful, they pop, that they denote strength character, never give up, never give in, and we're probably about 4 or 5 days away from picking those final colors. The logo has been picked, the name has been picked, and I think George knows the name. I'm not sure if George even knows.
I know the name, but I haven't told my wife, I haven't told my kids, so I'm not telling you. If you don't tell anybody, you never have to worry about it.
And Bill, you mentioned all along how important it was to have the proper name, the proper logo to represent this franchise for forever. I mean, for eternity.
You know, our goal is really to create have a logo and a name that gives us the ability to create a culture around this team that will be built here for years and years and years to come. And if anything, that's why I've been a little bit anal about this, kind of waiting and trying to refine. So I appreciate everyone's patience. We're very close. I want to make sure we have product that you can acquire when we do announce the team name. So that's why it's kind of this November 18th time frame.
All right, any other questions out here? We got more questions right now, right here. Go ahead, right up front.
Do you guys have any sort of contract negotiations about television, about getting this team on local TV yet?
We've met with 3 sets of consultants on our TV contract, and we won't have a regional sports network. We'll probably do what's called a rights deal, but we will be on local TV by the time this season kicks off, and we'll have a fairly long-term contract. So you can expect to see the games on TV. If you're in Salt Lake, you should be able to expect to see the games on TV. And our TV market area, our secondary market area, includes Idaho, Montana, Utah, the balance of Nevada. Our primary area, of course, is right here in Las Vegas and kind of eastern San Bernardino County and northwestern Arizona. But we'll definitely be on TV. There's no question about it.
Bill, what about an AHL franchise, kind of that developmental team? Have you looked into a city, or what would you like to do there?
I'm going to defer to George on that one.
There's no rush on that. We'll probably share a team with someone for a few years because most of our prospects will still be at the junior and college level. So there's really no need to fill out an entire team. We'll have 6 or 8 guys that we can call up. We get banged up, but we'll share for a couple of years, and then we'll hone in on a place and see if we can have our own club.
Seems like it was about 2 years ago when Gary Bettman came out here. We were talking because he kind of wanted to see how Las Vegas would respond to hockey, and he came out and visited with everybody, and he was impressed at the time with that preseason ticket sales. I think it was 12,000 or whatever. And now, Bill, you're at 16 and you've capped it off. That's how impressed people are with hockey here in Las Vegas.
No, Vegas has supported hockey in an unbelievable way, and having 16,000 season ticket deposits is way above. I'm sure it's way above everyone's expectations in the rest of the country. But my expectations for Las Vegas were we would sell out the arena. We'll sell it out every night. And anyway, I think everyone who's made a deposit, and as you convert to your season tickets, I appreciate it. The team appreciates it, and we'll deliver.
Yeah, Bill used to always say that people are putting money down on a team that didn't even exist, and that was really the case. And George, what are you hearing from around the league and from the other general managers and presidents that you're talking to about the Las Vegas franchise and the Las Vegas market?
Well, they've been really impressed with the staff that we've hired. We've got kudos for that with the experience and the knowledge that our staff has. This arena was packed last night with scouts here for both games. They really liked the arena, they liked the energy in the crowd, and they really like coming here. This is no secret. This is going to be a fantastic franchise.
You'll have a nice home ice advantage also here in Las Vegas. Question right here, go ahead.
Hey guys, it's Aaron from Saskatchewan. I came down just to see the game here. My question is, with the NHL draft and since you're an expansion team, what agreements have you made with the NHL for players, or what are your ideas to do for the first round of the draft? Are you going to go more offensive, more defensive? Are you allowed to pluck off of other teams' rosters, or how's that going to work for your first year?
Well, there's an expansion draft. I think it's 4 days before the entry draft, and the rules are out there. We can select one player from every team. They have a protected list, 3-7-1 or 8-1, and we are actually going through our mock drafts. We did it today and we'll finish off tomorrow. So that exercise takes place 4 days before the inter-draft. And then we'll submit our list 2 days before the inter-draft. And then we have the inter-draft. So it's going to be a busy week. But we'll sort it out and be very well prepared when we get there. And we're just going to take the best players. My point, not like that. You're asked about offense, defense, and that's whatever the best player is sitting there. That's what we're going to take.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sure.
How about
I'm not going to take Jonathan Quick from you. So.
George, building from the youth as opposed to, say, veterans that are on the backside of their careers, what's kind of the philosophy there?
Well, again, we're going to take the best players. Ideally, you want a younger team to work with, but we're going to take the most valuable assets that we can get, because if they can't play for us, they can play for someone else, and we can turn those into even more assets. So, looking forward to it. It's going to be quite a process, and again, we're going to end up with a real nice hockey club from the expansion draft, and then we're going to build through the inter-draft.
Hard to believe the puck drops in less than a year here in Las Vegas. Another question up from this Avalanche fan right here.
Yeah, so I was curious, you guys get one player from every team. How do you think they'll embrace the culture that you guys are trying to develop here?
I think they're going to love it here. Why wouldn't you want to come here? Honestly, why wouldn't you want to live here? It's a fantastic place to live and work. Whether you want to live down here on the Strip or live out in the suburbs, there are great places to live. We have great facilities, great ownership, easy to get around, lovely people in this community, really, really nice people here. So I think it's going to be a fantastic place to play. And our objective is to win quickly and to ultimately win the Stanley Cup. So players will go anywhere if it's a good team to win a cup, and they're certainly going to want to come here because it's better than a lot of places.
This will be a team of character. I'm an old Army guy, and I believe in teamwork. And I believe in working together and putting the team ahead of the individual. And you'll find the players that George drafts are going to be players with character. And I mean players you can depend upon, that'll come to play every day, they'll play to win, and they'll never give up.
Since a lot of you have not heard how this franchise really came to be or how the idea came to be, the Maloofs, who owned the Sacramento Kings at one time, and Bill Foley were kind of there from the ground. So I'd like to maybe ask Bill, if you don't mind, just sharing a quick story of how the idea was hatched.
Well, it was an interesting story. The Maloofs came down and saw me in Jacksonville, and they wanted to buy into a football team. I said, well, find another partner because I can't afford it. Forget it. That's way out of my league. And they called me about 3 months later and said, well, what about hockey? I said, well, hockey where? They said, well, Las Vegas. So, well, there's no arena. Oh, yes, there is. There's going to be an arena. It's going to be built. And so, well, let's start investigating it. This was actually over 3 years ago that we started this process. And the league became convinced the arena would get built, and it has been built. And the league then gave us the opportunity to run a ticket drive and take ticket deposits. And it was very successful, as all of you know. And the rest is history. Here we are. We've got the team.
Yes. And big hand for Bill Foley getting that thing done. George.
I've been asked several times that, what I've been doing is, it's a lot of work. People saying, you must be working so hard, it must be so much work. And I said, you know what? The hard work's been done. Like Bill did the unimaginable and delivered this franchise. I mean, that was the hard work. What we're doing is fun. It's enjoyable. We're busy, but it's fun stuff. It beats working for a living. It's fun.
All right, another question right here. There's a Detroit Red Wings fan.
Whoa! Due to the fact this is Las Vegas' first professional team, will the casinos allow you to bet on the team, or will it not be allowed?
I've been advised to answer no questions related to gambling.
We had talked to Gary Bettman about that issue, though, gambling. He said it's not a big deal here, that it won't affect the integrity of the game at all here in Las Vegas. So that was his. In fact, that was on June 22nd when it was announced when he was in town, because we asked him about gambling. Another question.
Obviously, you guys are adding a team to the Western Conference. Any idea what division you guys are going to be in?
Yeah, Pacific. We'll be playing the Ducks and the Kings and the Sharks, and
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, regarding the expansion draft, is it a strict one player per other team, or is there any room for like a team might trade a draft pick or any other kind of dealings other than just a straight pick?
Yes, of course. There'll be a lot going on. There will be a lot of activity leading up to the expansion draft. We are required to claim someone if we haven't signed a free agent from that club. But there will be lots of negotiations around everything that's done. That will be a busy time.
The weather here in Las Vegas, we were talking with a couple of hockey officials last night, and they were talking, George, and you probably know this better than anybody working with the Capitals for so many years, that after a while that cold weather kind of gets old, and these, Arizona, LA, Anaheim, San Jose, here in Las Vegas, these warm weather climates are kind of favorable, aren't they, to the players after a while?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I think it's actually pretty healthy for the players. That they are in a place where they can relax away from the ice and not be all bundled up and freezing. So I think it helps.
Another question.
Hi. First of all, congratulations on the franchise. For us, our rival is the Ducks. What team are you targeting as your main rival?
I think those will develop as we play. But everybody.
Only 4 hours away without the traffic.
Yeah, go ahead. How many? Do we have any old Wranglers fans or Thunder fans? There we are. Here's a Thunder Wrangler fan right up front. The old Thunder, the Wranglers. Here's a question. Go ahead.
We're season ticket holders, so we just want to say thank you, Mr. Foley, for bringing this team. It's fantastic. So there was initially some talk about when the games would be scheduled, especially with Vegas residents and the evening work schedules for a lot of people. Have you had any discussions with the NHL on what times, whether there'll be a lot of afternoon games or anything like that?
Yeah, the schedule really hasn't been set yet, but we have MGM has been great to us. MGM and AEG, in terms of the main owners of the arena, and they've already reserved many Saturdays, many Sundays, lots of days that are convenient to local Vegas residents. So we're going to be very focused on that to make sure that it doesn't conflict with work schedules. And of course, we also want to. We don't mind having Sunday afternoon games, because if the guys come in on Saturday night or at 2 a.m. and they might go out and they might stay out a little late, and then we play at 1 in the afternoon. I can see a very strong home record here, very strong.
Go ahead. Here's a Rebel fan.
You mentioned the expansion draft. As a brand new team, will we get first choice in the expansion draft?
We're number 3 in the lottery, so we can't be worse than 6th. We could be first if we get lucky. Our odds are we'll be number 3. We're pretty lucky here in Las Vegas. I got a feeling we're going to be number 1.
George, let me ask you another question about just the mock draft and so forth. How does it look? I mean, Bill's goal is the Stanley Cup in 7 years, playoffs in a few, and so forth. Realistic? With what you see out there?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm encouraged by what we went through today. I was a little more pessimistic going into the mock drafts because I'd gone through it myself. But having the entire staff here and really sort of vetting through every team, it's going to be. I think it's going to be better for us than I anticipated, and so it means we're better. And we'll do really well in the entry draft. So, again, I said when I first got here that I want to win right away and win a cup soon.
How would you feel about your players playing in the Olympic Games?
I don't mind when it's convenient when it's in North America. When it's on the other side of the world and the games are on at 4 in the morning, I'm not sure how that helps anyone. I know the players like participating in it, but I don't like shutting down the league and going so far away that you're not watching games in prime time here. I mean, what's the point?
All right, another question. Here's an LA Kings fan.
First off, I'd like to say I am completely jealous of this brand new, wonderful arena right here. This is incredible, it's wonderful here, but my question is this, down the line when you guys are completely successful, which you guys are like 3 to 5 years or so, will you ever consider doing a stadium series team like the Kings did, like twice?
An outdoor game, you mean?
Yes, outdoor game. Like we had participated in Dodger Stadium in 2014, and then we were out in San Francisco to take on the Sharks out in Levi Stadium.
Of course, we'd be open to that. That's a fantastic experience. I went through it once in Washington. We played Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. 70,000 people at the game. We won. So what was really neat was driving back to Washington the next day, because we had 30,000 people at the game from Washington. And driving back to Washington the next day, seeing all these cars with red jerseys going by, and all these cars at the gas stations and the stores. It was really a neat thing. But the neatest thing was winning.
There was a time when a outdoor game was actually played here in Las Vegas. It was behind Caesar's Palace, and this guy right here remembers that. You remember that game? You had a question? Go ahead.
Will you allow us aging rink rats access to your practice facility while you guys are having open practice?
Well,
Yes,
sure.
of
You'll
course.
be able to watch it from upstairs and from the stands.
Yeah.
And the rinks are going to be open to the public. We're going to be having youth hockey league play there. I mean, George knows this. I'm not a hockey guy. I'm not a hockey player, but I mean, an NHL team practices an hour and a half a day. So absolutely, we want everyone to come out.
Just don't expect to get in the locker room.
Go ahead, another question here. Sharks fan.
Yeah, he is. So this is more
This is
of
a tough crowd, isn't it?
This is more of a Las Vegas question. We really appreciate that you did it with your own money to build this beautiful stadium. And on that case, how do you feel about the Raiders asking for $750 million of our money?
Well, I'm not going to be politically correct about this. I believe we can spend $750 million on police, firefighters, and teachers.
We'll get him a Knights jersey.
What about that, Bill, though, if by chance the Raiders come following you, you're the first here in Vegas, if the Raiders do come in, say, 3-4 years from now, what are your thoughts?
Different fan base, different culture, eight regular season games. They don't seem to be able to make the playoffs, so I guess there won't be any playoff games. A couple preseason games. I mean, we're not very concerned about it, honestly. We have our fan base, and we'll be good to our fans, and we're going to deliver a winner, and the Raiders are going to be irrelevant to us.
That's right, hockey fans are passionate. Here's an Anaheim Ducks fan. Or no, go ahead with your question.
I got two questions. I got one for you, George, one for you, Bill. George, as we're going into the draft, there's going to be a way about how you want to develop the team. Those that are not familiar with hockey, they just look at teams that are outside of this market. How would you look at Vegas? Are we going to be a Penguins type of club or like a Lightning type of club in the fact of speed and agility? Is that how we're going to develop, how you're going to build us through the draft? And then Bill, I spoke with you a year ago over at Suncoast, and I was talking to you about how I can help out with developing anything with this team. I want to know something. How can this little 6-year-old guy who met Ed Belfour and grew up with hockey for 30 plus years, how can he get on Kim Frank's marketing team? Thanks.
Well, to get on Kim Frank's marketing team, you have to call Kim Frank.
With respect to how we're going to build the team, most general managers want to do it in ways that allow you to be all of the things that you mentioned. That you have speed and skill, and you have size, and you have grit. and you have character and leadership. So we're just going to build the best darn team we can build and have all those elements, because ultimately to be able to win, you have to be able to beat a bunch of good teams that play different styles. So you have to be able to have a style that can compete with all those teams. So I've built some really good teams in the past, and I'd like to do it again here.
George, what's the biggest challenge moving forward now? Say the 2-3 biggest challenges that you face now.
I'm not sure. I'm really pleased with the staff that we have, and I think that was the biggest challenge of hiring real quality, experienced, intelligent people that have seen this movie before. They've been out there in the trenches and worked their way up, and they're getting another chance to do it with our club. And I like, people that are on their second or third team are usually better. And I mentioned in a meeting yesterday that Bill Belichick might be the best executive in the NFL, and it took him 3 teams to be really good. So those are the kinds of people that I've hired, and they're out there and they're working now. So a big hurdle was sort of completed within 60 days, and sort of marvel at that now and sit back and say, wow, we actually got that done, and it's just a tremendous staff.
So I assume a coach will come at the end of the season, or you're looking at people, or what's kind of
sometime in the spring. And as I've said before, if you've got time in this business, use it. We have time, and we'll keep an eye on things, and then there'll be some good people available in the spring, and I think they're going to be really encouraged about what is here. We have a good staff. We have all these things I've mentioned. We have an owner that wants to win, so people are going to want to come here. We're going to attract really good people, and we've attracted one heck of a staff already.
All right, a question here from an Anaheim Ducks fan.
Yes, go Ducks. From a Southern California resident, I made the trip up here from Riverside, California, and actually touching on firefighters and police. So I actually work for the fire department, but as an Envision guy, about 2 years ago when I saw you made the announcement that you were going to put all your effort into bringing an NHL team here, I also had the same idea about bringing an American Hockey League team down to Riverside City, California. I think it's a great location. I think with the AHL moving west and division alignment, I think that would be a great spot to, again, build that solid foundation and help excel at the NHL level here in Las Vegas. So just a couple of statements. Thank you for doing what you did, and know that as a representative from the city, we're here, and we're willing to do anything we can to meet with you.
Yeah, interestingly, your mayor is a West Pointer, and he's already reached out to me, and we've talked. They've got to build the arena, and they've got some things to do, but Riverside certainly would be under consideration.
All right, another question from apparently a USA hockey fan here. He's got the USA cap on.
Hey, there you go. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'd like to know what your vision is for youth hockey in Las Vegas, and how soon you think it's going to take traction.
Well, really, we're going to, as soon as that practice facility is finished, we're going to start executing against youth hockey. And there's lots of demand. The other 3 sheets of ice in town are buried. They're completely busy. So we have a whole program. Kim Frank, who does marketing for the team, is highly experienced with youth hockey. So we're all over it. It's a major priority for us.
If I can have a follow-up.
Yeah, go ahead. One more.
Yeah, one follow. So you see that next fall to begin, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to get the practice facility finished. So that's next August 15th, September 1st.
All right, any more final questions out here? Once again, Bill Foley, the owner of the yet-to-be-named Knights, and General Manager George McPhee. Bill, let me just ask you a final question. What's kind of your immediate plans now? What are you most fired up about? I assume it's the name, the color, the logo, the jerseys, and getting all out to the fans here.
Yeah, let's get the logos and the colors of the jerseys finished. The name we know, but get that presented properly, and so we can start seeing our Something Knights jerseys all around town. And it won't be long. It won't be long.
George, and you're keeping that a secret. You're not going to tell anybody.
Yeah, nobody's pestered me more than my 10-year-old daughter and my wife. It's been nonstop, and I've said that if someone asks you to keep a secret, you keep a secret. If you tell anybody, then doesn't work. So anyway, I have a final comment. Just looking around, seeing all the jerseys from Dallas, Detroit, Minnesota, LA, San Jose, Anaheim, Pittsburgh. What's really neat about our business is we're all involved in a great sport, and as long as you're hockey fans, it doesn't matter where you're from, it's a great thing, and we appreciate that you're here and that you're really supportive of this franchise.
How about a big hand now for Bill Foley and George McPhee? How are those passionate hockey fans out here?